Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel today. In today's video we've got a race driving at Interlagos, driving the GR3, taken from the sport mode daily race. I think it was last week or a bit earlier. Starting on pole position with a lap time of 1 minute 30.8, I think it was. We should have got our lap a bit faster, but we didn't push it on the last corner again. I tend to back out when I know I'm on a really good lap if I just want to get myself improved. So we're starting the race. I've got 2 extra cameras on the go. We've got driving from the perspective of the car behind us. His name was Baggy, and obviously in the top right hand corner we've got the TV replay camera. So you're going to see the 3 perspectives from the race: my view, the guy behind, and the TV replay camera. A real struggle this race. It's all about it was very high. There was a tyre wear thing on that was quite high, but we had enough fuel to go flat out through the whole race. So the tyre wear was really kicking in at the end, and I was struggling a little bit with the tyre wear. For some reason on Interlagos I don't seem to be that great in terms of my race pace on Interlagos, but this was all about doing our best at defending and seeing if we could hold him off. He definitely had better race pace than us, I think. I think for the first few laps it was fairly equal. For the first 3 laps when the tyre wear wasn't that bad, it was reasonably equal. It was just a slipstream that he was getting a lot of slipstream on. You're going to see it. We were pulling away a bit through the corners, but then we got to the straights and he was gaining a lot on the slipstream. So you'll see that as the race progresses. A really enjoyable race, as you can see there. We got ourselves a little bit of a margin at this point. Pulled away, out of this corner. We got a real good traction out of that corner and give ourselves a little bit of a margin going onto the main straight, just so he couldn't pull a move off there. The little twitch on the exits there, you could see on the replay camera, the rear got a little bit loose, nothing major. We're working our way to the end of lap 1 and we've kept that lead. You can see it seems like a reasonably clean start. We've got a line of cars going there all the way to 5th place, 6th place, 7th place there, you can see. So it looks like everyone got a reasonably okay start, no real dirtiness going on, fairly clean. Which tends to be the case in these longer races. You tend to get cleaner races. You can see there, I do struggle on that corner. I don't know what it is. I do tend to have a little bit of an issue through that corner. I do need to get that sorted, but I'm guessing the more we do this race on this game, the more we'll get used to that. What doesn't really affect me on other games, but you can't cut the corner as much on other games, but on GT you have to really try and cut that curb quite aggressively, and I tend to lose that. And on that corner I tend to run wide. I think I was using the wrong gear going into that corner. I should have really braked a bit earlier. Obviously with the fuel on board and the tyre wear, I've got to start getting used to braking that little bit earlier and getting better lines through the corners. But we managed to hold a reasonable pace even with that mistake, and you can see at the moment it's pretty much stalemate. He takes a different angle in through to that corner than me. I think he goes down to 1st gear, whereas I was going down to 2nd gear and just letting it roll through a bit more. It's something I did. I went back and watched what gear he was doing the corners on, so maybe it's something that was affecting our tyre wear as well, because I got the feeling that his tyre wear was not as bad as ours. Obviously at the moment it's covered up the tyre wear, as you can see from the camera in the bottom left, but I wanted to give a perspective of the guy in 2nd place so you guys could see the action taking place and how we were defending. It was a real defensive struggle this for myself, but like I say, any race in these top splits where you've got a number of S-rated drivers, I think there was a few within this race. Any podium's a good result in my view, and that's what I always aim to try and get, as a podium if possible. So you can see, again, we didn't need to go defensive. I was trying to make sure that when I didn't need to go defensive, I wasn't going defensive. You can see I got a nice pull out of that corner there, which again has given me a little bit of a margin going into this left hand up here, which I do tend to struggle on, which I do need to get this braking right. As you can see, we brake on the 100, but maybe we need to brake a little bit earlier and then take more of the curb and get on the power early. You can see there, we actually did that okay that time, used all the track and didn't really have any major issues. But you can see the slipstream, the guy in 2nd place is getting now behind us as he closes in, but again he's not going to get anywhere near us going into that corner there, as we've got enough of a margin. I just wanted to try and keep it as clean as possible and not give away the lead. I knew that he had a pace advantage. I think it started to kick in more so now. At this point we're fairly comfortable, even with the slipstream that you get on this track in these GR3 cars, which is fairly strong. At this point we were fairly comfortable once the grip was there on the tyres, but as it faded away I did tend to struggle a bit more, and it's something I need to work on this track. Other tracks I'm reasonably good on. It just seems like a struggle with the grip of the tyres wear down on this track, but I'm sure we'll get there. This was only my 2nd race on this track, so and it was fairly late on in the afternoon. I think, I can't remember exactly the time, but it might have been like 2, 3, 4ish, I don't know. But I got the feeling that the guy in second had raced a lot more. As you can see, he's going to make a move down that right hand side. You can see on the replay camera, but he brakes it really late. So what I do is I make sure I get my braking right, just keep it cool, and you can see we get back into first place, and we actually give ourselves a little bit of a buffer. But I think we made a little error which got him right back into the slipstream. I was hoping to stay out of the slipstream for a bit, which might help me out, but you can see he got into the slipstream fairly quick, because I think I braked a little bit late on one of these corners. Let's have a little look. Going into this corner, we do that reasonably okay, but I was too patient on the throttle. You're going to see now as he gains a little bit on the delta there. He's not in the slipstream yet. Let's going to see. I'm pretty sure I made one mistake which got him right back into the slipstream. We take that reasonably okay, trying to keep it tight. No major errors there. He's gained a little bit through that corner, and then going into this corner, it's a corner I needed to go down into first gear, and that's where he was going into first, which was giving him a better angle into this corner. And then you can see, look at the delta there. He's just gained 2 tenths on us. Well, yeah, nearly 2 tenths on us just through that little section, because we went in the wrong gear, and we had a massive moment on the rear going in the braking zone there, which lost us even more time, and that's put him back into the slipstream, which is really a real big shame, because I think that gave him the run, especially coming out this corner now. Once you're in the slipstream on this straight, he's going to just watch the delta just decrease as we're on the accelerator. Not too shabby on the accelerator, not brilliant, but you can see the delta's just going to shrink and shrink and shrink as he gains on us in that slipstream. But we're going to hold off as much as we can and do our best. You can see now, looking at his view, you can see him gaining on that slipstream, but he's not going to be able to get anywhere near on this lap because he's just not close enough at that point. And going into the corner there, a real tricky corner. I was struggling to get the power down early enough. You can see he gained quite a bit on us through there again. See, it's another corner that he was gaining on us, so we'll go back and probably analyse the gears that he was doing for them corners. I've already got the other corner. I know what gear he was doing in the race. I think in qualifying, the gear I was doing it in was probably better when the full grip's there, but as the grip faded, I needed to get a little lower speed and get more turning on that front end, so that's something we'll probably go back and doing. As you can see now, he's right in the slipstream again, only 2 tenths behind us, and really putting pressure on us. I was constantly looking in that bottom right hand corner at the TV replay, the TV camera from the rear view. It's a great addition to have on in these cars. As you can see him still working his way in that mirror. He's really looking for an opportunity. He's driving really well, to be fair. I have to give massive credit to him. I've raced him a few times. We have won quite a few times against him. I think it depends on the track. Everyone has their strong tracks and their weak tracks. It all depends on the car and track, etc. in combo. But this track really wasn't suiting me. Even though we're starting from pole, it just was not suiting my in the race. I don't know what it is. It's coming out that last corner, I was really struggling for traction, and because of that he was getting a massive slipstream on our car. You can see how much he's gaining down this straight now. Look at the slipstream and the delta. He's going to be in a position to make a move now, so I'm going to go defensive. You're going to see me get myself over to that left hand side, and then what I tend to do is just work my way back into the middle of the track, just so I've got an angle into the corner. You can see I brake pretty much on the limit. He's still on that outside. He's not able to make a move. Now I need to lift off on this corner a little bit. I give it a little lift on purpose there, as you can see, just to try and make sure he can't get on the power too early. And now I'm going to have to go defensive again, but I can't really make too much of a defensive move. He's on that left hand side. He's going to be able to power through now and probably make a move into that there. You can see there, he goes for it, and he's going to try and make his move down that inside. He's on the inside still. I hold the outside. I give him the space that he needs. And we're both side by side. But I've got the inside line now into this right-hander. So I'm going to try and brake as late as I can while holding an inside line. Still giving him space. And we managed to hold off that position. But what I need to do is make sure I didn't run too slow for that last bit of the corner and give him the inside line back. So we managed to do that. Still in the defensive mode now, you can see holding the line, trying to make sure I stay nice and tight to that inside, and we managed to hold off the position still. A great bit of racing from both of us there, as you can see, side by side, and some real respectful racing between us there. I really enjoyed that little bit of battle that went on, and it's great that we were still managing to hold these two top positions. As third wasn't really catching on us too much at this point. You're going to see him pop up in the mirror there, but obviously as the battling goes on, he's going to end up catching up a little bit more. But at this point, it's not really an issue. I'm wondering, I think I should have really altered my brake balance as the tyre wear started to fade. I think I should have gone down to 3 on the brake balance, more towards the front. So you can see we're towards the rear, and again he's on that right hand side, and he's going to make a move down that right hand side. He's staying there, but we're managing to hold off that inside line by braking on the limit. And again, I give it a little lift there, you can see, and it means that he can't get on the power as early. It's not a bad thing to do. I just make sure I don't go on the power early enough that he can't get on the power. You'll see it in F1, people holding the line on the apex just so the person get behind cannot get on the power, and it means we get again safely through this corner now without being able to make a move into that corner. A little bit of oversteer on the exit, but we're managing to hold it. Tyre wear is really starting to kick in now. You can see our car's really struggling for grip. Going into this long right hand, again I want to keep it nice and tight to that inside, just so he can't get up on the inside, and you can see he's not really in a position at this point to make any moves. Looking in that bottom left hand corner, he looks like he's just holding back and waiting for a chance again. He went for it on that time. We managed to defend well, but I think you could see I was struggling with the tyre wear. I was trying to get on the power as early as I could to give myself the exit, but what it was causing was a little bit of power oversteer and rear twitching around, which wasn't helping the acceleration. So going into the last corner again, going to try and get a nice clean exit. So I was trying to brake a little bit earlier and then get on the power as early as I can, but again, look at that oversteer moment. Managed to catch it, but we lose so much on the acceleration. He's going to really be close to us now. Going into turn one, he's going to be able to make a move. You can see I go to the left hand side, cover that, and what he had to do, he's kind of got out the slipstream bit, so he lost a bit of time, but he's back in the slipstream now. He's going to pull out to that right hand side. I'm going to go again to the middle of the track, give myself some sort of turn in and angle into that corner. As he goes around the outside, I try and hold it on the left hand side. I give it a squirt of power to try and stay on that left hand side, and again I'm now on the inside. We're side by side battling out at this point. He's on my right hand side. He's going to have a better pull out of that corner, as you can see now. Still in first. I go to the left hand side to defend. He's still behind us. At this point I stay to the right hand side because I think that he's not going to be able to make a move, but he throws one up the inside and he gives us a little nudge there. I couldn't turn in. It was a little bit of contact, but I think that he would have gone. I would have probably gone for that move as well. I really should have probably stayed over to that left hand side and defended it a little bit more, but I would have probably got compromised on the exit then, and he probably would have made the move into this corner. So we managed to put up a defence for about 8 laps. You can see there. At this point I'm just going to try and hold into the, you can see there where I should have gone into first place, how much time I lose over him. And because of that, I'm running a shallower angle into the next corner, which is really causing wear onto that rear tyre, which I think could have been some of the reasons that we were wearing out on our rear tyres, because we were putting more steering angle in at that point and then getting on the power, and it was causing the rear to spin a bit. On this game, if your rear spins, you do wear them tyres out, so you really do have to be cautious. But you can see now, we're just trying to hold into that slipstream, and we're not going to be. We're really struggling because with that tyre wear, it was really kicking in, and we've actually got someone behind us fairly close, but he's not close enough to really worry us at this point. You can see there, I think he made a mistake after the guy got behind us in first place. He's 3 seconds behind. I think he did gain like close in on us a fair bit, but it wasn't enough for me to worry too much. I think the defensive lines I was taking, and obviously getting on the powers earlier could really took a lot of wear out of my tyres. So maybe if we had a few more runs at this track before we would have raced, maybe a few more runs, sorry, and then race again, it'd be a little bit closer. But a great battle, as you can see here, and we tried our best to get back into the slipstream. We was just about holding on at this point, as you can see there, trying our best just to stay in that slipstream. At the moment we're just about in it, basically about to lose it, but I was really doing everything I could with the car and the tyre wear that I had, but it really did feel like the car was starting to fade. You're going to see how much I'm losing the grip, and there again I really feel I should have been going into first gear there, and then you can see he's getting a better angle into that and getting on the power much later because he's taking that wider entry. You can see now, look how much he gains on the exit there. He's really pulling away on the exit even though I'm in the slipstream. And again, we take that corner reasonably okay and manage to gain a little bit of time back, but then again, look at the power. As soon as I get on the power, I'm really struggling with the traction because of the way the car is. I'm having to catch it all the time. So the tyre wear has really got the better of us at this stage, and we're coming in to go over the line, and we've got, this is the last lap now. You can see fuel was just about okay to go run the fuel all flat out all through the race. As we're going over the line, and it's going to come on to one left on the fuel, but obviously the lap time is going to slow down a bit with that tyre wear, so we're going to get over the line with enough fuel. So again, going into the braking zone, trying to brake a little bit early and just trying to keep the car from sliding. This is where you can see I went down to 3 on the brake balance to try and help it out, and it did help it out a little bit. Maybe I should have done that a little bit before we did, but we're just not able to keep pace with the the guy in front at this point. A little bit frustrating. I feel like I have got the ability to get that pace, but maybe we needed a little bit more practice. You can see a massive moment there as the car slid into that corner. I ended up going down to 2 on the brake balance after that. It was just starting to lose it in the braking zones. I think I was running far too rearwards on the brake balance with the tyre wear. It's something I'm going to have to remember, that once them tyres start to go, I need to alter the brake balance, because the rear is going to become more and more unstable. It's something I do on other games and project cars, and I've never really had to do it on a set of course because I've never really done much league racing on that game and long races. But on games like Project Cars, when we did the league racing, I decided not to pit. It's something that you did tend to do, is slightly alter the brake balance, etc., or have your brake balance at a point where it would be accessible throughout the whole race. So you can see now, going into the last corner, we're 2 seconds behind, and we've lost quite a bit of time on this last lap with them few massive moments, nearly a full second. And a really enjoyable race. I hope you guys have enjoyed this race. I put up my best defence I could. I did the best I could, considering it was our second race, but I wanted to share this race with you guys, looking at 2 different perspectives and my view, and I hope you enjoyed it. I actually got a 2-second penalty when I went over that bit there. I wasn't watching where I was going, and luckily the guy behind was about 5 seconds behind. He was really struggling with tyre wear also, but we got away with that. So luckily we didn't get a penalty that cost us a position. But like I say, a great race. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe for more of these races, and give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Thanks again, and I'll be back very soon with more videos.